It's the Positively Petland Show, Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock on 800 KXIC. Continuing the conversation with Ron, co-owner of Petland of Iowa City. A Peagle, they're cute. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, they're a very cute breed. They're one of those unlikely, why would you mix a Pekingese with a Beagle?
Why would you?
To get one of these, and that is why it's so cute. Every time the breeder, and this is a bunch of years ago when they started breeding them, I go, why would you do that? And they go, Ron, wait till you see them. And when I saw them, I was like, okay, I get it.
Where does it end? Where does it end?
It never ends. Hey, for those people that just went, oh, it's a mixed breed and I'm a purebred person, I just want to say, your purebred was a mixture of all sorts of breeds in the past. So you've got a mixed breed as well. It just is somebody labeled it as a purebred. AKC, love them and all that kind of stuff. But realize that we still are mixing breeds today and coming up with new ones. I think the Golden Doodle will become an AKC breed in the future. It might take 10 to 20 years for them to get that one, but I think that one's going to go down.
Who makes up the CKC?
AKC is very interesting. The AKC is an assembly of dog clubs. So there is a Pekingese dog club. They operate on their own autonomously, but then they propose to the AKC standards. They then have to show that they can maintain those standards. And all of this is pretty rigorous as far as the whole thing goes. Every year, the AKC, I'm pretty sure every year they have new breeds that they label as purebreds. We're still catching up from hundreds of years ago on the purebred side of things. So AKC is nothing more than an assembly of all sorts of independent breed clubs that have really gone the extra mile to show, hey, this is a purebred in the way it is, and there's a purpose for them and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what allows them to then, come into the ring and as far as show dogs and all that kind of stuff goes. So we're going to look at the Peagle today, and I just was going to look at both the Beagle and then the Pekingese to say, okay, this is what the mixture, combine these two things and you're going to get the Peagle that we have in the studio here. So the history of the Beagle: in the 1500s, most English gentlemen had packs of hounds. We see that in cartoons all the time, so maybe something's true on those cartoons. Larger hounds tracked deer, while smaller ones went after rabbits. These were the first beagles. The origin of the name Beagle may have been derived from the French term Peagle, referring to the baying voice of the hounds when it pursued of the game, or possibly the diminutive size of the hound. So temperament, I think, is what everybody loves, because the Beagle is one of those most loved personalities out there. Beagles are happy-go-lucky and friendly, making them a wonderful family pet. They're also favored for their compact size and short, ease-to-care-for coat. Since they lived in packs for hundreds of years, they naturally enjoy the company of their other dogs and humans. Curious and comedic, they often follow their nose, which can lead mischief, like Jerry, if they are not provided with daily activity.
I resent that.
Oh my goodness, I'd embrace that one. Mischief, I love it. All right, so that's the Beagle. And by the way, I'm at petlandiowacity.com. I clicked on the Learn About Breed button and then migrated down. We've got hundreds of different breeds on there that you can read through fairly quickly, get a real quick idea, is that the right breed for you? So that was the Beagle. So now the Peagle is a mixture of the Beagle and the Pekingese. And the Peagle has more of a Beagle appearance in color and coat, maybe a little bit on the head, and then it has more of the Pekingese in the body structure. It's more stout, it's more short, the nose is in a little bit, and the eyes are out like the Pekingese. So the history of the Pekingese goes on the petlandiowacity.com website. The history goes, Chinese art throughout the ages, starting with the Tang dynasty of the 8th century, abounds with images of the Pekingese, who gets his name from the ancient city of Peking, now called Beijing. Pekingese were held sacred in ancient China and could only be owned by royalty. At that time, the punishment of stealing a Pekingese, so don't get any ideas, was death. Pekingese came to Europe as a result of war. When the British overtook the Chinese imperial palace in 1860, they returned home with several of these dogs. Hey, wait. Now the Beagle, where did it originate from? I'm trying to French.
You're the expert on this
English. Yeah, I'm thinking that there was a commonality there. So these guys have some relation only because the Europeans, the British, grabbed a couple of these on the way out and brought them back home in 1860. So that's where they have some common lineage. Temperament. Pekingese possess a regal dignity, like Jerry, intelligence, and self-importance. Jerry, do you have those traits?
I didn't hear a word.
Dignity, intelligence, and self-importance. Is that one of your traits as well? Okay. Making them good-natured, opinionated, and affectionate family companions. Their small size makes them a good choice for apartment life, but they are sometimes difficult to housebreak. The Beagle is going to help you on that side. They are relatively inactive indoors and do not need a yard, but enjoys walks. Because of their long undercoats, Peaks need at least an hourly brushing session per week. So that's where some of these things that you don't like about Pekingese, maybe that brushing and all that kind of stuff, long undercoats, you don't get that with the Peagle. All you have to do is look at them because they have more of the Beagle coat. They do enjoy, the Peagle is going to enjoy walks. It is going to be on the smaller side, so it is going to be more of a, like if you're an apartment dweller kind of person, this is going to be right up your alley as well. So the Peagle is a beautiful, cute little mixture of both the Beagle and the Pekingese. So that is the summary of a Peagle. Is that the right breed for you?
I bet it is.
I think for a lot of people it is. I wanted to talk again today about adopting healthy pet habits. And Petland has worked with the CDC over the years because this is one of those areas that our culture doesn't know much about. We love our dogs for sure. We love our cats for sure. But we really don't understand the cross things that can happen between us and our canine and feline friends. And I think it's important for us to understand these things just so that we can take precautions. I bet you we're not going to alter anybody's big time habit like sleeping with their dog or kissing their dog in this session, but at least something that I thought of earlier in the day. You know how we always blame I got a little bit of the gripes right now. I think it was the Chinese, the Mexican food, or the whatever it was that you ate. You might want to also think, oh yeah, and the dog kissed me within the last couple of days, and I might have gotten something from the dog. So we know that pets are healthy to people in a lot of great ways. 13 years ago when Wendy and I bought the store, there was 0 studies on this. We all knew anecdotally that they did a lot of great things for us and we did a lot of great things for them. But now studies have come out. They decrease blood pressure, decrease cholesterol levels, decrease triglyceride levels, decrease feelings of loneliness. That's where some of this stuff is scientific. Feelings of loneliness, I've read so many studies on psychology and pets and all that kind of stuff, and they are just great for us. Increased opportunities for exercise and outdoor activities. I think we all get that because I think a lot of us get the pet. Yeah, and I'm going to go running with the dog, and that's where that comes from. Increased opportunities for socialization. Go walk your dog and you're going to be talking with people for sure because everybody's going to want to pet the dog and everything. So we know those things already. The next question that you need to go through is picking the right pet. And so the CDC has some normal stuff like how long will this animal live? You need to know that. How does the pet eat? Exercise? How large is it going to get? What's my veterinarian bill? Some normal stuff here. But I think some other on the healthy side or health side things that you need to figure out is are there young people with weak immune systems? Is there a pregnant lady in the household right now? Yeah, that sounds funny that I'm saying that, but what I just described is a group of people that have potentially a weakened immune system. And the reason why that's so critical is there are some things that our cats and dogs have. And maybe you right now go, wait, I fit that category and I got a dog. Don't freak out. Um, I doing the research here on the germs that the dogs and cats have, you still are more likely to get some of these germs from uncooked meats and things like that. You far more are likely to get it from those sources than you are your pet. But we can take some precautions. So the kids under 5 years old is a category, especially on the reptile side of things. Salmonella over there is what they're going after. People with weakened immune systems, and you know your area as far as what you're weakened to, so you need to do your research on that. The pregnant women handling stray cats, especially kittens, you want to be concerned about, and that's the category right there. So the question is okay, what do I do? The CDC has a couple of nice flyers and stuff like that. One is play safely, and I think this is the most controversial one. Don't kiss your pets or let them lick your face. Now, Jerry, I don't think we're going to get anybody who's doing that right now to stop it just because we said this. But know that that's the transmission of most of the germs. And so we're talking about salmonella. We're talking about giardia, which is one of the most common germs out there. They're like in most puddles. And they go through our digestive tracts. Most of these create a fever or diarrhea. For most of us that don't have compromised immune systems, you're going to just experience a little bit of a fever or a diarrhea, and it's going to be no big deal. You're going to say, oh, I ate some bad food or something like that, and shrug it off. So it's not like life-threatening that we're talking about here, but you can avoid those uncomfortable situations by just knowing that these are how they get to you, kind of a thing. So don't kiss your pet or lick your face. And then go even further and say, when they are in your bed, know that they can leave that stuff in your blankets and stuff. Again, for kids that are 5 or under, just, we us parents know, hey, those kids, man, those blankets are in their mouths and all that kind of stuff, and that's how it gets transmitted. Why is a dog or a cat more likely to carry this stuff around than we are, even though we do as well? Well, just think of their habits. What are they scratching? What are they licking? Why do they eat poop? Nobody knows that, but they just do. And so those kind of things are how they're picking it up at a little higher rate than we are. And then they transmit it to us. And you know what? The vice versa occurs as well. Campylobacteria, which is also another very common germ out there to us. We sometimes give it to our dogs. And especially on the same note, if you have a puppy, they are much, much more susceptible, just like a child, to pick these things up because of their growing immunity, but still on the weak side. Take care to avoid bites and scratches. Kind of a tough thing sometimes, but you're wanting to avoid those and then take care of them if it happens. You're washing them and you're using a little disinfectant on those areas as well, especially with the children's. Always supervise young children around pets, so that if you see a situation that, hey, yeah, okay, the licking is going on here, I need to step in, especially with somebody 5 or less, I'd step in and I personally would step in and say, hey, not at this age, maybe, hey, stop that close contact there. You guys shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. But maybe when they're older, that's their decision, kind of a thing. Keep it clean is their next campaign. Simple hand washing is all you got to do here after you're touching, feeding, or caring for your pets. So if you're scratching your dog, just make it a common practice to go wash your hands. If you're feeding your dog, I don't know, Jerry, if people talk about that anymore. I know when I was younger, they made a big deal about if you handled the dog food or the cat food, you were supposed to go wash your hands. I don't hear that as much anymore, but the same risks are still there. And so you want to go wash your hands. The food for the dog and cat are safer today than they were 20, 30 years ago. But remember, so where was the dog's mouth? Oh, licking the kibble, licking the bowl. So you're getting cross-contamination kind of things going on there. And so that's why if you're feeding the dog, chances are you're coming in contact with things about that dog and you want to wash your hands. Scooping the poop, clean up after pets in your house, yard, and in public places. So, hey, picking up that poop when it poops in somebody else's yard goes way beyond just a courtesy. It's healthy to pick that up because the next dog will come by and take a sample, and the next cat will take a sample, and the next whatever wildlife that's out there is going to take a sample, and that's just going to propagate that stuff around. So picking up after your dog and cat, especially if you're going for walks, is really critical. I think this is also, if you have young ones in your family, picking up in the yard right away is important to you because they have lower immunity, your child, and they would be more susceptible to picking something up. And so picking up after your pet before the child is out there running around or picking it up right away is important. And then take your pet to the vet. Wow, that sounds so simple, but there are so many times when our pets look healthy, but they actually are carrying stuff. And so that you're giving the veterinarian an opportunity to check things out, ask some questions, and take care of things just in case they identify something that you're not quite seeing in there. Make sure they're up to date on vaccinations. And then obviously, if your pet is sick, check them. And you're in one of these categories, go to the veterinarian and get it figured out right away, just so that you can lower your risks or the people in your household so that they don't catch what's going around. So we talked dogs and cats, but realize, how much time do we have?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Excellent. Realize this goes all the way to small animals and reptiles as well. All the same things that you would take precautions on a dog, you need to do the same thing. The amphibians, we said, that's where the salmonella occurs, but other things occur there as well. So washing your hands, don't bring your pets, they say, into the kitchen area, kind of for obvious reasons. I know that's tough to do, especially with dogs and cats, especially cats on the counters. But just know that these are issues, and maybe you need to do a little cleanup more often. And then small animals, the same thing. Hey, I got a rabbit, no need, don't worry about here. I got a hamster, no worry about. No, you got to worry about it. Hedgehogs keep on popping up as passing things to humans. I'm not quite sure why the hedgehog keeps on getting picked out, but don't take any unnecessary risks. Wash your hand, clean up in the habitats away from your kitchen area, play safely, wash your hands after you're done playing or cleaning up after them. Pretty simple stuff.
There it is. And I have one to add to the list.
What's that?
Please do not leave your pets during the summer in your vehicle.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about that because we have yet another warm day, and I was wondering, is that going down? I can't help but think it's going down, but is it the opposite?
It's the opposite. We just had an individual in Iowa City that was ticketed. It was one of that first warm spells that we had about 3-4 weeks ago. And he justified it saying, well, the windows were down. Well, the windows were cracked, but the inside temperature, police estimated at somewhere between 115 and 120 degrees.
Not good.
So even if the windows were down, it doesn't take that long, 10, 15 minutes for it to get cooking in there. So do not leave your pets in your car, no matter what the time of frame is. First of all, I have a huge issue with people that drive with pets in their laps. I think that should absolutely be illegal and outlawed. But yeah, that's little
Jerryisms there.
My little addition.
You know what?
Pet owners irritate me sometimes.
I follow your advice on all this. We are hypersensitive to pets in cars, and since I travel with pets and stuff, when I have to go inside, I'm taking them with me and doing all that kind of stuff. And then I'm with you. They're always in a kennel because a long time ago, had the incident where one of my own dogs just jumped into my lap, and it was like, this isn't working for me, and realized I needed to take action right away.
Adopt good pet habits. How do we find out more about you, Ron?
We're Petland of Iowa City, located at the Marketplace Mall, also known as Sycamore Mall. And our hours of operation: Sunday, we are open from noon until 6. And then Monday through Saturday, we're open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Check us out, petlandiowacity.com. We've got everything on there so you can check out what we have in the store and all that kind of thing. We're on Facebook. Just search Petland Iowa City and we'll pop up. It's a fun feed. That's what we want it to be. You'll learn about specials and stuff like that as well on there. So it's just informative and play with that one. That's all fun and games.
Positively Petland show Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's News and Sports Station, 800 KXIC. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.